like to introduce Ms. Saunders now. Over the course of her career, Jeanette has distinguished herself as a subject matter expert, leading organizations to receive notable local and national awards for training innovations, best-in-class solutions to workforce diversity, best working environments for employees, and organization performance.
Thank you. So I see some of the same faces. Who's in here that was not in here in the last one? Okay. So you glutton for punishment too. All right. Social media. Big topic today. How many actually go online or use social media for job search? Okay. How many have social media platforms? Well, what you will find out, for those that don't actually use the social media for job search, is although you may not be searching for them, they're looking at you on your social media platforms when you apply for jobs. So what we're going to talk about today is actually, it's a necessary evil because one is necessary. Right now, if you apply for a job on any platform, you can go to a company's website and there's a little button that says use your LinkedIn profile. So no longer do you have to upload your resume. You can just connect your LinkedIn to it. Now you see either connect your LinkedIn or connect your Facebook. So social media is the way. You're not going away from it. So we need to have it in our job search, but at the same time, there are a lot of pitfalls with our social media. So that's why it's called the necessary evil. So this is not the first group that answered the question on how many use it for their job search. This is the second group. 89% of job seekers have used social media, whether they use it daily, weekly, or occasionally, they use it. So everyone in the room, it applies to you. And as I said before, while you may not be looking at them, they're looking at you. So let's look at it. About 2 in 5 companies actually, through multiple studies, have said that they actually use or look at candidates' social media platforms. And some of them have even said they make their hiring decisions based on what they find. In some cases, you'll see that they've made a decision to, and in other cases, you'll see they made a decision not to. But why do they do it? 65% said they look to see if they present themselves professionally. 51% said if they wanted to see if that person is a good fit for the company. 45% just wanted to know more about their qualifications. And then others, to a lesser degree, want to see if the candidate is well-rounded and look for reasons not to hire the candidate, which you'll see a little bit more. So while 29% of companies said they actually went and hired a candidate based off of what they found, they got something more that was positive off their social media, actually about a third said that they've decided not to hire a candidate based off of what they found on social media. And here are some of the things. Half of them because they were provocative or inappropriate in behavior or information posted on one or more of the profiles. 45% of them because of evidence of drinking and drug use on the social profiles. Now you may say that's my personal life. Well, other reasons, display of poor communication skills, bad mouth previous employers. You ever seen that where they actually talking about their job on social media? Made discriminatory comments related to race, gender, or religion. And actually, they've noticed some lies on qualifications on the social media platforms. So, what does your social media persona say about you? I think this will be the one question I can get everybody to raise their hand. How many have Googled themselves? You never Googled yourself? Oh, so you don't know what's out there on you, huh? I guess you just said it's better not to know. I would suggest you Google yourself. But for more than one reason. One, how many have more than one social media platform? How many, when they've Googled themselves, found stuff out there about them that they didn't even realize were out there on the internet about them? And it could be positive. It was just a speech that you gave, or you were at an event, you looked up your name, and this popped up. So you should Google yourself. You should find out what's out there about you. But secondly, you should be the author or the persona of your social media platforms. You should determine what's out there on you, and you can. Now, there's going to be things that pop up. However, a lot of times it's our social media platforms that usually rise to the top. How many have Googled, and you'll see if you have a Google Plus account or profile, that'll usually pop up. LinkedIn usually always pops up at the top. So these things pop up at the top. So you want to then determine and structure those things that pop up at the top. And you want that persona to be consistent. So, and we'll talk about developing the persona, but you want it to be consistent throughout your platforms. And these are not all the platforms, but of course there's the Google+, Twitter, blogs, personal websites, other social media sites, Pinterest, Instagram, those things, LinkedIn, and Facebook. You want to have a consistent persona throughout all of those. And again, you want to be visible. How many have one platform? How many have two? Only two. Two? What's your two?
No, I'm counting the one.
Oh, okay. You got two? What's the two?
Facebook and LinkedIn.
Okay. How many have more than two? How many have three? Okay. I'm on the threes. Threes? How many have four? What's the four? You're four.
I'm more than four.
Oh, you're more than four.
Oh, yeah.
I just want four. Those that have four, what's your four?
Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+.
Okay. How many have five? You on all of it. What do you have?
I'm posting.
And I still must haven't gotten to you yet. You posting now? Oh, okay. Oh, you have Snapchat too, so that's the fifth one. All right, so I guess we've gotten to 6.
How many of you have them, but you don't use them?
Have you created a profile with them?
Hilarious.
Or you just have a login?
My niece just set me up.
Okay. All right. How many have more than 6? All right, we got 2 social media geeks in here. All right. Anyone have something on YouTube? Okay. That you've put on YouTube? Anyone have blog sites that they do blogs? Anyone have their own personal website? Okay. So again, you want to be consistent on these platforms. How many can actually say right now all their platforms are consistent? For the most part? Let's see. So, first, the reason why I showed you the last one, I have to say, I'm on social media. I can't tweet all day. That's hard, but there are other platforms. But you want to increase your visibility, especially if you're in the job search market. Especially if you're in the job search market, or if you're an entrepreneur, or if you want to start being recognized as an expert in your field. You want to increase your visibility. So if you were the ones that kind of only had 3 or below, you need to increase that presence on social media. And make it applicable to your industry. Again, if you're trying to get recognized as an expert in your field, or you're trying to do job searches or people to recognize you and look for you for jobs, then you need to start making it applicable to your industry, even in your Facebook. And then make sure you provide information about your accomplishments, those careers in your profile. Make sure how many Facebook account, just kind of have the basics. From here, live here, may be single, may not be single. May have a birth date on there, but that's about it. It doesn't have really the about you. How many actually filled out the about you? Not many. How many, again, are looking for jobs? How many, again, I asked this in the last one, how many may not be actively looking, but you're passive candidates? Meaning, you have a job, you're in the job, but you casually look every now and then to see what's out there in the industry, and if someone offers you a better opportunity, you may consider it. How many are in that category? Okay. You need to Google yourself. And then you need to make sure the information is coherent. So you can either have a presence on social media or you can be absent on social media. You want to have a presence on social media, especially if you're a professional and, again, you're trying to make your mark in the industry, even if you're not actively looking for a job right now. So how do you start to establish that presence? Name. Make sure the name is consistent on your platforms, because if people are looking for you or trying to find you, kind of that basic name, whatever name you want to stand out, and not Cookie. Man, whatever that is, make sure that name is consistent. And then if you actually have a common name, you may want to distinguish yourself. Like if your name is like Ricky Smith, and it's common, you may want to throw that D in there just to distinguish yourself from other Ricky Smiths or John Does. Middle name, middle initial. You just want to make yourself present on your platforms. Photos. Make sure they're professional photos. I know Facebook is generally personal, but again, people, more than half, said that they look at your Facebook, your social media platforms. Make sure that you have professional photos. The career fit, what you aspire to, and photo consistency. Generally, try to have consistent photos across. It doesn't have to be the exact same one, but the consistent look across your platforms. And then the message. How many have a branding statement? Yes? On which one? The ones you don't know about or the ones you do?
The website.
All right. You need to have a branding statement. You need to have a message that says who you are. So you need to brand yourself. 1 to 2 sentence. You know that elevator speech that you give? Let that be your branding statement. Let people know who you are, what accomplishments you have, what goals you have, again, only short, but make sure you have a branding statement. And then a complete profile. I talked about it before on at least Facebook. A lot of people don't fill out the complete profile with accomplishments, schooling, those things, career, goals. Fill out the complete profile. Because remember, in some of the reasons why they looked for you, they wanted to see the accomplishments, they wanted to know more about you, qualifications. If you don't have a presence out there that says it, they can't find that out. And you may not have the opportunity to like sit in the first workshop and have that interview, because they may be looking before you even get there. So, how many have the Google Plus profile? Or you just have a login? A login? No. Oh, the Google Plus. Okay. Google Plus is a good way to link and to start to make all your social media platforms consistent, because you can link all the others to Google Plus. So there is a place on there, and it has you to link all of them, so you can link your Twitter. YouTube is already linked to that, but you can link the Twitter to Facebook, the Instagram, all those things to Google Plus, and that way you can start to see what my persona is and if it's consistent. Does it have the same message going through it? What does it say about me? So this is just start to look at your Google Plus profile. Again, start to fill in. Where do you work? Go to school? Live? Hire? Again, there's more to it. But start to fill out the actual profile. What type of profile is that?
Super professional. That's goals.
That's actually a Twitter.
That's goals for Twitter.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
So, again, different platforms, consistent message, make sure that it has. And we'll talk about some of these other things on there, because there's some things that you need to do to actually leverage or increase your social capital. We're just talking about visibility right now. So, increasing social capital. You want to be engaged with a Facebook, with a, particularly LinkedIn, you know, that's one most used for professional. You want to update it with something at least once a week. And we can talk about the things that you can do. But you want to be engaged. So you want to network. Network with other people in the industry of that you're either in or you're aspiring to get in. Subscribe to the updates of industry leaders. That's new on there. So now you can start subscribing to the industry leaders. Join groups, professional groups, companies. Comment. Don't just join them and have them sitting on your page. Again, you want to be active, and at the very last slide, it'll show you why. But comment, keep information up to date. Follow, like companies in your field, depending on which platform you're on. Demonstrate your expertise and your value. Join conversations. That goes into the whole commenting, adding insight to it. Blog, establish articles. How many put an article on LinkedIn? Have ever? Put something up. Talk about something. Add provocative content. Add a question, a thought-provoking question. Something that people can start responding to you, because it's starting to show, it will start to show your expertise or what you know or the value you add to that industry. So being in the field that I am, if I actually put this information, not the whole thing up, but if I ask the question of some of the questions I've asked in here and start to get the conversation going. You want to be active and be known as a resource. Start adding links to books, to articles, different things like that, so they know to come to you or go to your site. And think about yourself as a search engine. Make sure you think about keywords and put keywords in there. You know, obviously on Twitter, you get the hashtag and the keywords, but do it in the others as well. Because again, if you're trying to establish yourself in whatever industry you are, as a professional, as that one that people will seek you out when they have positions because they want you to come to their job, if you have keywords and they're looking for those and your name is the one that pops up in your websites or your platforms and they start to look at those things, then what impression they start to have of you. So this is how you get people to come to you, and you always don't have to do the job searching.
I have a question.
Yes.
What about people that are corporate by day, artists by night, musicians?
Mm-hmm.
You got this dual identity Batman, Bruce Wayne thing going on. So, are you supposed to suppress your I guess your alter ego?
No.
I mean,
No. You can have, how interesting are people that actually have a profession but also have something else going on, whether it's artists in painting or musician, those things. You can do blogs or articles or links to musical things as well as in your professional life. You will have different followers, but people will start to see the total you. You become a whole person at that point, because we all are, are professionals in the day, and if I'm just a mom at night, I'm a mom at night, which is completely different than that. But people start to see and can value a total person, one that has this artistic ability as well as this intellectual knowledge in this area, marketing, communications, whatever that is. Make sure you don't bifurcate them. Make sure you bring it together as a whole.
thank you.
So, this is Google. Some of the things, I just wanted to show you some of the things you do. Of course, collections, communities, join communities. Here's your profile. But the people in the events, the notifications, you can do a lot here, and people can start to see what interests you, where you add value, by actually taking some time in doing this. If you notice, I just typed in marketing up there, and this is what all came up. So I can join and start following and adding to those conversations. So what are some of the pitfalls? That they say, you know, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, what goes online, it stays online. You can try to delete it, and you can think it's gone, but it's there. It's out there. So be careful what you're putting out there, because it's out there. The other thing is, I'm not saying with Facebook or the personal things, quite frankly, I usually, and I've changed my thinking since, but before, I didn't have anyone that I worked with as a friend on Facebook. That was just my personal family kind of social thing. However, the more I became out there professionally to do it. But what you can do, protect your information. People may be looking for it, but depending on the filters and the protections and the securities you have on there, they don't have to see everything. Make sure you're going in and doing those things. Don't just do it blanketly. Make sure you are looking and monitoring what those securities are. if only your friends can see it. You can change even if, say you tag someone in it, do you want the friends of the ones you tagged, or you just want the person that you tagged? Make sure you're actually looking at these things and monitoring and protecting your own image of what's out there. So I'm not saying you can't have some things, because again, mine is family. And quite honestly, I don't want everybody in business to know, see my kids out there and those things that are, but that's how I connect to my family, because I'm the only one in Cleveland. So you can do it, but just make sure you protect it. Don't talk about work issues. You know, I know that girl may made you mad earlier that day, and your boss may be a or someone said something about you you may not have liked, or you tired of this place. I don't know how many times I've seen young people, and I get on my daughter's friends all the time. They could be at work and talk about how tired they are to be there. And they taking a picture right in front of the cash register with the sign in the back. Really? Don't talk about work in a negative light on social media. When you're posting a vlog, think very carefully, not just of what you're putting out there, but what the reactions may be to what you're putting out there, because again, you're trying to set your persona and your image, and just think carefully about that. We know some people that just say whatever and don't think twice about it, whether it's right, alternative facts, or whatever it may be. You know, a lot of people do alternative facts. And the other thing, don't be boring. And now I'm not saying be overly exciting, because some people can get a little wild. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're adding to conversation, again, the reason why I use provocative content was just talking about creative, thought-provoking, those things. Be interesting. People don't follow boring people unless they're your parents. Even your kids won't follow you if you're boring, so it has to be your parent. But be interesting. You know, you have a question that came in your mind that you were thinking about, and you wondering were others thinking about the same thing just in your industry. Put the question out there. Be interesting. So, we talked about how to use it, just our profiles, how to increase our visibility, how to increase our social capital. We also talked about pitfalls. Now, there was only like 2 or 3 of you that actually said you use it for a job search. It's probably one of the best things you could use for a job search. And everyone is doing it, even if you aren't outside of this room. I'm talking about the jobs. Here's some examples. LinkedIn. How many know that there's LinkedIn careers that's out there that you can actually do? If you fill out these things, a lot of times recruiters only put in keywords and look for the people that have those qualities or those characteristics or those skills or those titles. If you don't have this information out there, how is it to get a great job and you didn't even do the searching for it? You didn't have to thumble through and put your stuff out on Indeed.com and go to all these things. They came to you. But you have to put these things in there. Share your career interests. The companies that you follow, you can learn about those jobs that are out there for them. Also, now they have LinkedIn for Students. App, LinkedIn for Students. This is for those that are close to coming out of college. There's a lot of things that they can do with this. They can find alumni that have graduated with the same type of degree in what they're doing. They can also, with this app, actually put in, and it can tell you other career fields that can be related to that, what jobs are out there. I mean, this new app for students is actually great. I put my daughter on it. You can see that you can do daily, they'll give you daily recommendations. You can, the school stuff, I mean, it's just so much that's on there. Facebook careers. How many of you use Facebook careers? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know they have Facebook careers. You just go to facebook.com/careers. Keywords, categories, searches. You can branch out. You can look for it across the U.S. You can look for it in areas, Monster, Indeed, all of those things through Facebook. How many have used it at Twitter? Job Seek. Find a job on Twitter. Say what you're looking for, location. Those, a lot of companies tweet. It will give you that information as well. You can start to join those conversations, make yourself known. Again, you want to increase your social media presence and capital. And I say all this to say why. How many have heard of Clout? Clout actually measures your social media presence, visibility, and capital. You want to get a high score. Employers are looking at high scores as well because they can go to one place and see where you are and look. Especially, again, if you're into, if you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to launch something, you're trying to be an expert in the field, you can see how you are with Clout. As you increase your profiles, your visibility, you have a consistent persona, you start to become engaged, whether you're tweeting, whether you're putting articles out there, your score goes up. You can see your influence and your influencers. Style perks, I mean, all of this is on here. So that's at clout.com. So it's a necessary evil.
Is that 48 out of 100? Is that what that score is?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So you can look for jobs. People share them. You can actually, the platforms you're already on, you can see what's available. No longer is it going to the actual job, the website of the company, or no longer do you actually have to go to Monster or Indeed or those job searches. And like I said, the best thing is being able to increase your capital, your social capital out there, that people are actually looking for you. They're looking for you whether it's to speak, they're looking for you whether it's for a job, to add to an article, to tap into your expertise and to pay you for it. It's a benefit, but it's how you leverage it and avoid those pitfalls. Any questions?
Does Clout show you how to raise your score?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can't be overly saturated in the social media platform arena, I guess, right?
If you have a consistent persona, it really doesn't matter. Now, if you're just out there just doing stuff and it's not to a goal or it's not to create this presence that you want, then yes, you're wasting probably more your time than anyone else's. But if you are on a mission, if you're trying to create yourself in your industry, then no, you can't if you have that consistent persona. Because no matter where they go, they'll say, wow, she's there, but I'll see the same information wherever you are. And it shows how serious you are on that. Any other questions?
Curiosity question, Jeanette. For people who maybe are older, I'm talking about myself now, not really looking for a job, not really that interested in, oh no. And I'm sort of media adverse in all of that. That's why I came in here, because I said, okay, I know Jeanette, I wanted to listen to her. Two, I wanted to listen to the topic, but have never really been that interested in putting what I used to say, all your business out there in all of this Google and LinkedIn and all that. But I have plenty of friends who are saying, why don't you get on this and that? But in terms of if you're already in an industry, you've been around for a while, people know you, that kind of thing, is there still, I guess, from your perspective, some benefit if you're not job hunting, you're not trying to develop your business, but you are in the industry, say the airport aviation industry, what would be your guidance in terms of the value of just being out there if you are a person that doesn't like to be out there?
Angela, I'm going to talk about you. You have been in your industry, not just the aviation, but I'm talking about even in your field, for a while. You have a lot of value to add to that industry. Becoming a subject matter expert, you may not be looking for a job. However, it raises the profile, and you do things even outside of that. Think about the ACI committee vice chair. Those things, information that you want to help and bestow on others to help them as well, because it comes to a point where, like this particular workshop, yes, it could be about the industry and raising my platform, but it's also helping others get somewhere. So if you have knowledge that you can share with others that are helping others, then you should be able to do that through those social platforms as well. You may not be looking for a job, but you have a lot of information that you can share and pass it on and help others come along. Any other questions? All right, well, I thank you all. Hope I didn't punish you too much, especially those that sat with me twice. But I look forward to seeing you again other places and online. I would love to know how you've raised your profile, how you've changed things, how you've retooled things, and not just what you did, but the benefits out of it. What changes did you see as a result of it? That would be helpful. So I thank you all and have a good rest of your day and appreciate you stepping in.